My name is Jenna Wallace, and I'd like to look at a study on technology use and learning characteristics of students in higher education to determine if generational differences exist. The 2015 study by Kwok-Wing Lai and Kyeon-Sam Hong was published in the British Journal of Educational Technology. Kwok-Wing Lai is a professor of education and the director of the Centre for Distance Education and Learning Technologies at the University of Otago in New Zealand. Kyeon-Sam Hong is a professor of education at the Center for Applied Learning and Multimedia at the University Malaysia Sarawak in Malaysia. This study investigates the validity of the claim that current generations of learners think and learn differently from previous generations. In 2001, Mark Prensky coined the term digital natives to describe the generation who grew up surrounded by technology. He asserted that the intensive use of technology fundamentally changed the way that those individuals learned, which would have far-reaching implications for education. However, there is little empirical evidence to substantiate these claims. With the goal of contributing to the body of knowledge on technology use and learning characteristics of students in higher education, Lai and Hong set out to test whether there is any validity to the digital native claim. The study addressed two research questions. First, what technology tools do university students use and how frequently do they use them? Does the pattern of use differ between age groups? Second, what learning characteristics do students have in relation to the use of digital technologies? Are there any generational differences? To answer this question, the authors surveyed university students on their technology usage and learning characteristics. The instrument used was developed by Mark Bullen and his colleagues in 2011 to measure learning characteristics based on what was claimed by those who believed digital natives learn differently. The instrument was designed to measure 10 dimensions of learning characteristics: digital literacy, connectedness, multitasking, preference for experiential learning, preference for group work, preference for images over text, structure in learning, goal-orientedness, social, and need for immediacy. A paper-based questionnaire consisting of 21 items was administered to a random sample of students at a New Zealand university during orientation week. The sample of 880 students was drawn from the four main study areas of the university and was representative of the university's demographics in terms of gender and year of study. Three groups were compared. Group 1, the under 20s, born after 1992, are the so-called Generation Next. Group 2, aged 20 to 30, are born between 1982 and 1992, and they're the Net Generation. Both Group 1 and 2 make up the digital natives. Group 3 encompassed anyone over the age of 30. These are the digital immigrants. Non-parametric tests were conducted to investigate whether there were any generational differences in these areas. In terms of technology usage, there was no generational difference in usage for personal and social activities, although Group 3 spent more time using technology for learning-based activities. No significant generational differences were determined in digital literacy, connectedness, preference for experiential learning, preference for images over text, or social aspects. There were some generational differences. Group 1 expressed that they were more used to multitasking, and they preferred to work in groups. Group 1 was also more likely to indicate that they wanted clear direction and more information before starting a task. Group 3 had clearer goals in life, and Group 1 and 2 had more of a need for immediate contact or response than Group 3. So while there were some statistically significant differences between generations in some learning characteristics, the authors report that the differences represented very small effect sizes. The study supports findings that although the Net Generation students use a variety of technologies, they don't necessarily use them extensively for learning purposes. The results, showing little difference in both technology usage and learning characteristics between age groups, therefore suggest that claims of a digital divide are not substantiated. Instead, Lai and Hung suggest that the use of technology by digital natives cannot be generalized and is more complex than previously characterized. So what are the implications for instructional design practitioners? This study supports that as instructional designers and curriculum developers, we should not fall into the trap of using generational stereotypes when it comes to technology and technology-based learning. As this study, and many of the studies it references, show, age is no more a factor when it comes to e-learning or instructional design than any other learner characteristic. The findings of current research do not support any particular learning differences between generations, so the authors suggest focus must remain on the improvement of enhancing the quality of teaching and learning for all of higher education, rather than a particular group. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for your time.